So what we have here, Sarah, to start this live stream off is we have a game called Super Driver. Now, the reason I went and purchased this game is because I remember playing games like this, games I believe like called Motor Mania on the Commodore 64, so definitely an old school kind of game.
Yes, I remember other driving ones like Pole Position.
Pole Position, yes.
And, oh gosh, all of those, so yeah.
So definitely a retro kind of game. This is, I remember Pole Position used to be, and there was, what was the other one called? Pole Position was the one. Was Pole Position the one where you actually where you pulled over and you changed the tires and everything?
No.
Which one was that? That's why Google's our friend. I bet you we could find it. Racing game. Just put Commodore 64, where you got out of car and changed tires. Pit Stop. That's the one I'm thinking of. Pit Stop.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
You remember that one? Yeah.
Yes, I do. I remember Pit Stop.
Yep. So there was Pole Position. Yeah, you didn't change your tires in Pole Position. Pit Stop was the one that had that, and that was when that was. I remember that from the '80s, Sarah, where you actually did a racing game. Like, I mean, the graphics were really simple, but oh my God, you could pull over to the side and you could choose to go another lap, or you could, try to get, and you would see your tires change color from like green to blue to whatever, yellow, and then orange, and then red. And then at some point they would blow, and you'd be out of the race if your tire blew. And it was always, okay, am I going to get greedy and try to make one more lap? And obviously when you bumped into the side of the road, or you bumped into the cars with your tires, they would take damage and get more red. And it was always a lot of fun, but I remember that being such a, not dramatic, but such a huge jump in, that was such a huge feature, I guess, Like, wow, a game that you can actually pull over and change your tires, and you'd actually see your little stick figure guy get out and change the tires. It was awesome.
Your little 8-bit guy.
Yep, your little 8-bit guy. And if we go to... But the game... That was more of a 3D game, where they tried to make it 3D. The game that I remember, I guarantee we'll find... Motor Mania, there we go. This was, I believe it was a free game. I'm not sure. But this here was a game that I loved, and I played this more than Pit Stop or anything like that. It was just super simple. It was top down.
Try to make the best mileage possible.
And as you can see, just really simple sprites here, and the car, and you had your fuel, your gas, and you just tried not to run into everything, and you tried to win the race. And you'd have to pick up gas, there'd be nails on the road, stuff like that. But here you can see, even though it looks really lame, the you'd crash there. And this is somebody reviewing the game or whatever. But he crashed again. But here you can pull over to a gas station, get slow down, and get gas and free fuel. And I think this was only on the Commodore 64. But at least the road did actually curve and everything like that. And I remember having a lot of fun with this game back in the 80s. So that's kind of why I went ahead and I bought this game, because I was like, wow, kind of like old school Motor Mania on the Commodore 64, just a little bit better graphics, and the games was $1.19 on sale, or $1.29, or $2. I'm like, let's try this and review it. So that's what we're going to do in this review, Sarah. We're going to take a look at Super Driver and find out if this game, as supposedly this developer's first game on Steam, we're going to find out if it's worth your $2, and we'll be back right after this to do just that. No, as you guys can see, this game is already broken. You've turned music and sounds off. I've went back into the menu here, and it's WASD to go up and down, and then enter. You see music off and on, and I've turned them off. What if we restart the game? So if I close the game out, And I hit play now again. Yeah, this game is already broken. The options don't even work to turn. So again, I turned full screen off as well. And I have to go back in and turn full screen off. So at least that works, but it automatically turned music on and off again. And turned it off, but it doesn't do anything. So the game's already broken there. Leaderboard doesn't seem... Oh, it does seem to be... Okay, it is working, I guess. Okay, well, leaderboard seems to be working. It seems like. New game. Music is way too loud. There's no way to no way to adjust the volume here. And so you collect fuel by simply running your car over sprites. Rather than like the old school Motor Mania, you know, where you had to pull over to a gas station. This game is just super simple. You have sprites, cars racing down at you. You collect coins, I guess, to increase your score. Like, the game doesn't even have a mechanic to increase the score, you know, the further you travel. Why not give you a point every... You can increase your speed by hitting up. Down does slow you down a little bit. But you have a minimum speed, so you can't stop. Alright, so as we can see right here, guys, this game is completely fucking broken. The music and sounds don't work. The game is as simple as... It's way too simple. The road doesn't even curve. It's just a straight road. It's just the same sprites that come at you over and over and over again. A big, like, oil puddle. A ramp that you can make your sprite get bigger. So I guess that's supposed to be a jump. And then you have the coins that you collect, and then you have a few of the oncoming traffic, which are just different colors. So you can't get simpler than this game. I mean, this game was probably made in... You could make this game literally in an hour or two. And the other thing, too, is it might be an asset flip. So, very, very lackluster game. No originality. Nothing that changes this old school kind of driving game in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, Motor Mania on the Commodore 64 did this type of game probably 100 times better than what we have here. This is just simply super lazy, whether it's an asset flip or whether the developer actually made this game. The fact that the music and sounds don't even work shows how lazy and how quickly this game was made and how rushed it was to put it up on Steam with so little care to even make sure that the basic, functions, music and sounds even work. So, a very, very sad game is Super Driver, guys. Whether it's an asset flip or not, I don't know. I did go on the Unity Asset Store and look for a game like this. I couldn't find one. This is exactly what the type of game, guys, that makes my M.I.S.S series. Games that show very little care for quality, very little care for originality, very little care for effort. Very little effort is obvious here. This is a very minimal effort game, very minimal fun, and it doesn't matter the price, because why would you want to spend $1.29 on sale or $1.99 for something like this when you can honestly go play free games that are going to be way better? So I am very disappointed in the supposedly Glory Drago's first game. However, I do have a huge hunch here that Glory Drago is just a bullshit name. And this is a game made by the same developer that probably has 20 other games on Steam, just under different names. That seems to be the thing now on Steam, is that when you make a very low effort piece of trash on Steam, you put it under different developer names, or these developers put it under different developer names to try to hide the fact that they're producing minimal effort shit and throwing it up on Steam, at 2 games a week, 1 game a week, whatever. And that's how they hide from that, by putting up bullshit, or 20 different developer names or whatever. So if we go here to the publisher, see what the publisher has here. Zaxtorian. And hello, there we are. So here's what I'm talking about. So see, a lot of these games may be made by the exact same developer. So we have Super Driver here, Tank Man. See, this is probably the same fucking developer, just under different names. The same guy that made this probably made the driving game we just played. I mean, it very well could be. But this is all, just... This here is an asset flip. I know I saw this game on Unity. But this publisher doesn't have anything that stands out, at me right now. I mean, most of these, from just looking at the images here, most of these look either low effort or look like asset flips. So, welcome back. So we're going to go ahead and write a review for this game. I'm going to request a refund, even though I reviewed it, because I do not want to support such a lackluster, lazy effort on a driving game on Steam with any amount of money. They, like I said, they didn't even care to make sure that their music and sound effects work before uploading this game onto Steam. So, extremely lazy and low effort.